Hi, this video is for my students at YADA and for actors young or old who are called on to do a monologue. In my acting career, I've been doing monologues since I was 16. Some of them have been full-length solo dramas, and believe me, to survive on stage alone for an hour with just you in the audience, you need to be ready. So in this video, I'm going to help you master the monologue by showing you how to choose, prepare, learn, and rehearse a monologue by taking basic Stanislavski and Meisner tools and putting them to work. You're going to put a lot of your time into this, so let's do it right. Choose a monologue that will fit your personality and your type. It's kind of hard to be objective, so I'd suggest you start by taking an online personality test like YADA students have done to help me choose the right monologues for them. Another bit of advice, stay roughly within your age range. If you're 15 years old, don't choose a monologue for a 50-year-old. Playwrights always write these different ages in different voices, so it needs to be something that you'd realistically be cast in so that you can draw the viewer in. Otherwise, you'll lose them. Ultimately, the monologue you choose should give you a buzz and make you feel that you'd like to go there with the character. Beware of monologues that tell stories or seem like diary entries. It may be a wonderful, funny story, but it's almost like reading out the recipe for a cake. We don't want to hear the recipe. We want the experience of the cake. Likewise, your job as an actor is not to report on a situation. Your job is to be actively involved in it. There must be something at stake with whom you are speaking. This means you must know specifically who you are talking to. Who are they? What's your relationship to them? And most importantly, what do you need from them? This will be an anchor for you while you're performing it and make your job easier. So, you have your monologue. Now begins the slog of learning it. But first, do your homework, and then memorizing and performing it will be a lot easier. Use your imagination to create the circumstances. What's going on? What just happened? What surrounds you? Decorate your fourth wall with people, furniture, forests, clouds. If you don't create these circumstances, you'll fall into the biggest trap, and that's playing the mood, which is a generalized wash of dramatic feelings that the viewer will turn off of after 10 seconds. If you know the circumstances, you don't have to play the mood. Try to find the naked moment in the monologue. The what? That's from my acting teacher, Lee Abraham. Ask yourself, where do you really let down your guard and show the vulnerability of who you really are? Which is probably why this monologue was written in the first place. You know, in graduate school, I once had to learn the role of the Duke in Measure for Measure. It's the 5th largest role in Shakespeare, and I had to do it while taking classes during the day and rehearsing or performing in the afternoons and the evenings. There's no way around it. Learning lines is always a slog, but here's what helped me. First, score the scene so that you know your circumstances, your objectives, obstacles, and actions, which we cover at YADA. This will help you to know why you're saying what you're saying, and later it will allow you to play each moment by moment rather than playing the mood. Try to work on it 45 minutes on and 15 minutes off. Learn the big speeches one sentence at a time, or you'll overwhelm your mind. So learn the first sentence, then run that sentence and add the second sentence. Then run those two and add the third sentence, etc. Do not get stuck into line readings, even though you think a certain way of saying a line is correct. It might be more surprising later on to the audience if you give it a fresh twist. And always read your lines over the last thing before you go to sleep. It will help you to lock them in. And how well do you need to know your lines before you rehearse them? You need to know them so well that there's no way you could say them any other way. Only then will you be able to start the acting. So, you know your lines completely. How do you begin to wrestle with the monologue? Before running it, close your eyes and remind yourself of your circumstances, your environment. Think of getting a photo of someone whom you might be talking to. Imagine that you need something from them. Imagine that you can be hurt by them if you don't get what you need from them. Then run it. Sanford Meisner said, "Your text is your greatest enemy." What does that mean? Same thing when Stella Adler said, "You don't act the words, you act with your soul." So get that text out of your head and into your body. And what does that mean? Stop listening to yourself as you act. Move it around. Say it while doing something physical that requires your full concentration. Your body will show you how to do the monologue. It'll surprise you with ideas, reactions, feelings, discoveries, but always keep it fresh. Always throw out your last rehearsal and approach your next run-through as if these thoughts are coming to you for the first time. If you have any questions, let me know. And on behalf of all of us at Yada, break a leg. Now, how well do you need to know your lines before you rehearse them? You need to